Hello! How is everybody tonight? Welcome to Project Fog. I'm Gizzard Stu, your host tonight. And this evening on Project Fog, we're going to continue to celebrate the North American release of A Billion Lives documentary film. We have a special guest with us this evening, director Aaron Biebert. Aaron, thank you so much for taking the time to join us this evening.
You bet. This was a lot of fun, actually, after the big party that we had in Milwaukee. Getting a chance to kind of relax a little bit and follow up on everything. And yeah, I'm looking forward to kind of hearing what kind of questions you had and hearing what people's thoughts were on it.
All right. Well, I was at the premiere, and it really surpassed my expectations. So I thank you a lot. It was a pleasure meeting you, and I guess I'll introduce the rest of our panel. Tonight we have Mr. Fresh 03, we have Mr. Robbie Vapes, we have Ms. Moxley, and we have Dirty DeVoe on the panel tonight. And because Aaron's time with us tonight is a little limited, I would like to jump right into our discussion. So I would like to begin by saying that last weekend I drove 700 miles round trip to watch a movie, and it was worth it. The Billion Lives premiere certainly did surpass my expectations, and I'm personally excited for the day when I can freely use this film, as every carpenter needs a hammer by his side. I intend this film to be my main educational tool. I want to wield it like Thor, and to inform current smokers and non-smokers alike as to the truth about vapor technologies. And hopefully this film will eventually sway public opinion and undo some of the misinformation and propaganda that has been embedded into the brains of many people. So thank you, Aaron, and your crew at Tension Era Media for caring enough to pursue the truth and expose the deception by Big Pharma, Big Tobacco, and Big Charity. It really just boils down to money and greed being placed far ahead of the lives of millions or even possibly billions of people. So, Aaron, I would like to start with a question that I would have preferred to ask you later in the interview, but I will address it first to get it out of the way, as I am sure it is of paramount importance to many of our viewers. And the question is, what is your projected timeline for getting your film into widespread availability? And perhaps you could briefly touch on your strategy and or explain why you have to market the film in logical steps.
All right, well, that's a big question always. When can we get it out there? And yeah, I do get that question a lot, but it is, now that we've had the big premiere and everyone came to support us, we're able to obviously do more with it. That was the goal here, was that we would have a really great launch so that we could get the attention of folks in Hollywood, and we did get some attention. What we're going to do next is we're still trying to figure out what's the best plan to get a special event in New York and LA to get the media involved more, like the national and international media. And then we're looking at having it in theaters, and it looks like that is going to happen now because we had such a successful premiere. So it will be in theaters. We're thinking, in Actually, it's going to be in New Zealand.
All right.
So it's going to be in New Zealand theater, so that's pretty exciting.
Well, I know.
There's a couple other countries, so yeah, it's going to be pretty exciting. So it's coming. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm thinking within about 60 days or so, maybe a little bit more than that. There's some logistics involved with it, but let's say, yeah, next 60 to 80 days will probably be in theaters. So yeah, it's been really exciting.
All right. Well, that's exciting news. I know that the film will be shown in Oklahoma City on the 11th, and I know that actually you're in a car on your way there right now. So, but can you tell us the best way to stay apprised of where and when it will be shown?
Right. Well, the main way that we're keeping everyone updated is through our email update. On a COILS.com, you just sign up right there. Just an email update tonight. I'll probably send an update every couple of weeks. As things get more advanced, we'll be keeping people posted. Where in their city they can get.
Oh, we lost your audio. Aaron, if you can hear me, we lost your audio for a minute. We lost your audio for a minute. We can't hear you. See if you can, I don't know, maybe you accidentally, his mic is muted. I don't know how that happened, but let me see here. That might have been me. Bear with me. No. Well, Aaron, it's kind of hard to ask you a question when we can't hear you. But for some reason, your microphone is cut out. If you can hear me, maybe you want to try and log off and come back into the call. I don't know what to tell you on how to try and fix it. The rest of the panel, you might as well unmute for a minute, and we'll try and...
All right.
Oh, there. Yeah, now I can hear you. You're back.
Yeah, that's right. You know what that was? That was actually just my phone cut out, not my internet. So
oh, okay. All right. All right, well, now that you're back with us...
all right, sorry about that. Yeah, I think, I don't know why that happened. But,
well, we'll cross our fingers.
So where was I?
Well, you were just telling them to...
Oklahoma City, right?
Yeah.
AmilionMax.com, that's the way to do it. Sign up for emails. We've got about 15,000 people on our email list, and that's growing every day. But we'll be keeping people, updated. We don't like to make everything public, and a lot of people like just post it on Facebook, but not everybody uses Facebook, and honestly, I don't have enough time to be chasing down every single platform people want me to be on, Reddit, just Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Don't have time for that. So just sign up for emails. We don't spend very much, but that's how you're going to know we're not able to use. Plus some of the stuff we don't necessarily want public, so we like to use emails.
I got you. So let's go on to another question. You obviously have an enormous amount of time and effort into this project, and I understand that you are neither a smoker or a vapor. So,
right.
If you will, please give us a brief overview of why you decided to create your film, A Billion Lives.
Yeah, well, the easiest answer, the simple answer is that, it's just a smart move for a filmmaker to make a film about a really hot topic, That's the simplest answer. Obviously, it's a little bit deeper than that. I had a friend or a colleague rather, who died of lung cancer while I was working with him. And I had to watch that. That weighed on me. I used to think vaping was kind of stupid. It looked stupid. finally got straightened out, and come to find out 1 billion people are going to die from this. And from smoking, here they are banning, and technology people are using. I mean, it all works together. I'm doing a lot of work with community films and helping, inner city education, all kinds of different things. And was ready for our first theatrical production for theaters. And, the topic just seemed to be the right fit. It was a really important topic, and it was timely, and nobody's made a film about this yet. So I guess that's the complicated answer as well. So.
Okay. I have a question. So, during the production of the film, which of your interviews for the film were the most eye-opening for you? And did anyone decline to participate?
Well, a lot of people decline to participate. It's all the usual suspects. So, marriage is lying, campaign for tobacco, free kids, the FDA, BBC, all those options, all those guys. Dan Glenn said he would do an interview, and then would never set a date with me. So that's basically a decline as far as I'm concerned. And lots of people did agree to be in the film. Some of the best doctors, most respected doctors and scientists in the world did agree to be in this film. A lot of people that aren't vapors are very impressed with the people that are in the movie. Some of you guys may know some of these guys, but the rest of the world doesn't know them that well, but knows of their positions, and they're very respectable. So probably the most powerful interview, gosh, it's hard to pick one, but both the Winston Man and Dr. Dylan Newman, who is the former president of the World Medical Association, both of those guys really helped me understand how powerful this addiction is to smoking, how wrong, a lot of the doctors are about this topic. They're just not educated on it. And, that kind of stuff really hits home as far as how people can be dying from something, and yet the most important people don't even understand what they're talking about. That was eye-opening.
Mm-hmm. How do you see 1 billion lives affecting the public debate about vaping?
Yeah, I think it's going to destroy the other side of this. Already the media is calling for answers. They don't understand it in New Zealand. We saw that we got a lot of press about this. And we saw that big government came out and had to answer some questions right after this, like, what are you doing? And they reevaluated it. Now I hear some really good news, so that was really great, Mark. Congrats on that. We're a very small part in that, but, we helped to start the discussion again. Helped to broadcast some attention to it. All the great people already doing the work on the ground. We're able to have a little bit more of attention on their issue. And I think we did the same thing in Australia, starting to see some movement there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited for what we're going to do in the U.S. But the U.S. is a much bigger country, much more complex. There's many regions, many different cultures there. I think we reach all of them. I think the key is, though, that we need to get the word out about the film. Most vapors have no idea at all, none, that we are making this movie. And I don't understand it. And all we'd ever asked for was if people help us spread the word.
Right.
We don't need money, we need attention, and a lot of people have come to help for sure, but most people don't know. And I think everyone's just assuming that the other person is going to tell the other person. But, if you're listening right now, you need to tell the other people. You need to get on board with this, because we are a small independent filmmaking production company. We're not Warner Brothers. We're not going to run $10 million from the ads and tell people about your situation.
Right.
You've got to do that. We made a 95-minute story explaining the truth, but you got to help us bring it to the public. And so, yeah, that's probably the main thing that people need to be aware of, I think.
Right. Well, some of us are aware of your work, and some of us are involved, and some of us are more than willing to help you spread the word. Specifically, what would you like to see as far as support from us? How can we help you?
Yeah, well, I think it'd be good if we could get some of the bigger companies in this space to actually tell their customers about it. Some of these guys have less than 50, 60,000 people, and they haven't said one word about our film. Now that they're, at least in the U.S. and in Europe, where it's illegal to talk about the truth now, with our prohibition on truth, they still have the opportunity to tell people about our film. And I think now, if they weren't into it before, now's the time to do it. And so they just need to send out emails. If you're buying, stuff from people and they're not being supportive, and you don't see them talking about this movie, it's like, maybe you should ask them, hey, why aren't you talking about this movie? We need help. The big guys, there's been some really great ones that have helped. I mean, I'm right here with Kurt. Cloud Chase is Kurt. He's driving, actually. He's been super helpful. The folks at Molecule Labs have been super helpful. Alpha Liquid, these guys help sponsor after parties for us to help draw attention to these big events. They do a fantastic job. Those guys have been super helpful. Kurt's super helpful. He's awesome. He's driving me around even. Who else would you say, Kurt? Who else has been super helpful? Million different people. I mean, as far as the big ones, I'm talking about the big ones, like the big boys. There's been tons of awesome, like, good old middle guys. Real talk. Real talk. Okay, so Kurt is saying, real talk, no one. Those big guys have been super helpful. And I'm grateful for all the middle and smaller groups that have helped us, but as far as the big boys, we have 50, 60,000 people on their email list that listen to them. They're not talking about it. Phil DeSardo came to the premiere. That was awesome. Looking forward to him doing a video about this. But the only other YouTuber is Rip Tripper. He's the only other big guy that actually did a video about this. And I know a lot of people have all kinds of debates about that. But ultimately, we're just grateful that people are giving a rip and telling people about this. But right now, we don't have that a whole lot. So it's time. It's time. I think we've earned it. That the premiere. I mean, obviously, you guys have seen the movie, and you know that this is powerful. So if they're not helping right now, then you got to question why. And I think if they're not going to help, you need to stop buying stuff from these guys. They're not good. They're not a good part of the community.
Right.
At this point, this is the best chance that they have to get the public to understand what they're doing, because the truth is not even legal anymore. But our movie is still legal. So if they're not helping, you got to ask. That's probably the biggest thing, because that's the most disappointing thing, I think, is that these guys have been so selfish that they won't even talk about anything but their own product. This is not a good way to build a community. So it's time to stop buying stuff from the crappy companies that don't care. And it's time to start, even if they take your favorite flavor, it's time to find some new flavors. I mean, it's time, we got to start. You guys, the consumers, are the ones who make people wake up. Start voting with your feet. Go to a different store. Your vape shop, if they're not talking about it, get a new vape shop or buy online. It's time. It's time. Now's the time. We can't wait any longer. It's been disgusting to launch. I don't want people taking to say anything. It's just stupid. They hurt themselves. At the end of the day, they're cutting out their nose to spite their face.
Yeah, I agree.
It's time to wake up. It's time to wake up, people. When less than 1% of the vapors even know about this movie, how on earth do you expect the public to care? It's not going to happen. They're not going to care. It's just not going to happen. So, yeah. So, I guess. That's the real deal. That's real talk right there.
That was an excellent rant. I liked it. So that's how you can help, folks. He just told you that they, you have to spread it around.
And if you can't, buy stuff from Gizzard, buy stuff from Oculus, buy Alpha Liquid, buy somebody who actually gives a rep and actually putting their money in their mouth where this needs to be happening. There's a lot of other good guys too. The small guys, buy from the small guys that are talking about it.
Right.
If you're one of those small guys that's been helpful, share this video and let people know that you're actually the one trying to help. Because there are tons of small ones. I can't even begin to list them, where I would be leaving some off. But the big boys, stop buying from them if they're not going to help. Just stop it. You're not helping.
Is there a particular big boy you'd like to just flat out call out?
No. I'm not calling out any of the big boys specifically, because as far as I'm concerned, talk is cheap. You got a huge, you have a 100,000 person mailing list, or you have an event like some of the events that we all know that have 60,000 people come to them. never been invited to one of those, and never talked about it. Now they're wondering, oh no, trade shows are dead. What do we do? Well, they're to blame for that because they're not helping tell the story in a proper way. They'd rather just have naked ladies and stupid brands running around in their shows, embarrassing the industry and making them look like a bunch of idiots. So, I mean, there's another right now you have too. I should stop showing Kurt. Kurt does not necessarily agree with this stuff. But Jimmy's in the back. You can see Jimmy over here. That's Jimmy behind me. I think he would agree with me probably, but he's not the one that. He just makes things look beautiful. I'm the one who makes them look ugly. So.
All right. Well, thank you, Aaron. I'm gonna open this up to the rest of our panel, and to share their thoughts or questions that they may have with you. Who would like to start? Fresh? Moxley? I have to unmute you.
I'm unmuted, honey.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Mox.
First of all, I just want to say, hey Aaron, hey Kurt, hey Jimmy.
Hey.
Lovely to see you guys again.
Goodbye to everybody. Yep. Yeah, it's been too long. I can't wait to get back to New Zealand. We were just talking about that. So.
I can't wait to see you guys again, honey.
It's over there, but what was that?
I'm following everything you do. You guys know I'm following you around the world.
You're great.
I just wanted to address actually something that you already brought up. The fact that your film has impacted what is going on here in New Zealand and the change that's happening here as well as Australia. Amazing. Those conversations wouldn't be happening without it. I had a question, but you already answered it in your spiel. So,
what was that?
Oh, no, I was just going to ask if you think you had impacted on what was going on here and in Australia, and you mentioned it. So you obviously, yes, your film has brought the discussion to the table and making change in our two countries. I wanted to bring up a little bit something controversial, because I like to do that. You know I like to do that.
Well, I'm in the mood right now, so let's do it.
Alright, how are you feeling about the fact that Facebook has now classed your movie as a tobacco product? Oh, we're having internet drama again. Gizzard, you need to mute yourself.
Okay.
There we go, yeah, that was terrific. Aaron's internet's having a wee glitch again.
It looks like he's frozen again.
Yeah, totally. I wanted to hear the answers to that. Maybe you guys watching. Yay!
So
Did you hear my
every
question?
20 miles it's going to disconnect me on my phone because it's a new tower or something. So, sorry about that. Alright, so let's hear this question. Let's do it.
Okay. How are you feeling about the fact that Facebook has now classed your film as a tobacco product?
The whole Facebook thing. I mean, these guys are dumb, okay? Facebook might be one of the most disgusting companies I've ever seen because here they say, right on their website, that they're here to connect the world and to help people communicate and help there be communities and help make the world better. Total garbage. Because they keep saying things that aren't true. How many people, all these businesses that are making products that help people quit smoking, they call them a tobacco product? It's insulting. I'm actually honored that we get to be classified with such awesome people. But I am angry because it's totally ridiculous. You take basically you could say the opposite of smoking, anti-smoking film, help people quit smoking, and help people understand how to quit smoking, and you call it a tobacco product, it's insulting, and it's stupid. And you know what it really is? It's called, they really don't care. I mean, that's what it really comes down to. They don't care because they know. I've had conversations with these idiots. They don't care. There you go. You have 3 rents now. This is going to be the show of rents.
Oh, no, it's great, honey, because it actually led me to another question that I was pondering on, but I hadn't written it down.
Let's have another one. Let's have another one.
Well, I was going to ask you if after so long of making this film and, the struggle to get film festivals and theatres to hear you and to get the release of the film out there, whether or not your passion was diminishing, but listen to you ranting, your passion is still so there, and we thank you so much for it. It's good to be ranting.
Well, it's only because you guys, just had 1,400 people show up to a sellout, premiere of our movie here in North America, and that energized me. It got me fired up. I am tired. I'm really tired. I only got 2 hours of sleep last night, and that's just doing my best, trying to keep up with everything. We're not a huge team, so we're trying our best, and the energy. But when you guys read this, when you mention us, talking about
Help me with the support to convert everybody around me as well. And I'm so thankful that there are people like yourself that have the passion to give a damn about somebody who or others that aren't even in your social circle per se. The fact that you're not a vapor means so much to the rest of us.
Well, I'm still your neighbor, though, and we gotta care about our neighbors. It shouldn't matter whether you're a vapor or a smoker, honestly. Surprisingly, 1,400 people that were at the big U.S. North American premiere, we did not. I would say at least 900 of those people were not vapors. So this isn't a movie for vapors, and it's not even about vaping. It's about humans, and it's about rights, and it's about honesty, and it's about corruption. And that's something that everybody can get behind. And I said from day one, this is going to be a corruption film that the public is going to care about. And everyone says, what are you talking about? You're making a film about vaping. Why would the public care? And I think that we've proven now that the public will care. So we just got to get the word out as fast as we can, let the public just start caring about this before it's too late.
Oh, we're trying. We're trying around the world. We're
you're trying. Yeah, here we are. You guys are great. I'm not talking about you. Talking about Jimmy back there.
Come on, Jimmy, you need to care just as much as Aaron.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, Jimmy is I give Jimmy answers like that.
That's amazing. And I want to say congrats to you as well for the awards that you've been winning in the places that the film has screened. The community award that you got from the people, your friends in their cafe the other day after the screening in Milwaukee. All those things are just awesome. And I hope that it's those little things that still keep the passion alive as the journey continues.
Well, anytime you win a Best Director award in a major city, at a festival, a film festival, it's going to be probably one of the best in the world. That is pretty great, where we had a world premiere, but this one will also be very great. Anytime you win Best Director and Best Picture, Yeah, that's going to give you some energy, and it actually did a tremendous career milestone for myself. And now the publicists are always calling me award-winning director instead of just director, so that feels pretty nice.
Awesome. Is that a glitch again? Cool. That's pretty much all the questions that I've got for you specifically, and I'm going to hand it over to the other guys.
Excellent. Fresh, you want to go next?
I can. Aaron, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for making this movie. I have not had a chance to see it yet. I kind of live up in the northwest corner of the U.S. up here in Seattle, so we're anxiously awaiting. But I know that we can.
It's coming.
I can be patient for this one.
Thank you for being patient. Not everybody is, so that's appreciated.
You know that I won't bring that one up again. I was initially one of those. Why don't we just put it on Netflix, guys? But then
well, don't feel bad. It makes sense. I mean, you know, if this was a crappy film that some dude just made because he wanted everyone to know how cool vaping is, that should be on YouTube for free.
Yeah.
You know, but this is actually a real production made by our studio, and unfortunately, those kind of movies don't get respected on YouTube. That's where the garbage movies go.
Yeah, and I'd actually heard you speak on that during an interview. I believe it was about a month back. I heard you actually speak on the topic, and it kind of changed my attitude that, you know, you do need to go through this long process of releasing it city by city and, you know, gathering respect for the film, winning awards, and congratulations. And the movie is doing wonderful things.
Right, but it's almost time, so the good news is you don't have to wait too much longer here.
Yeah, fantastic. My main question was, you've spoken about speaking to the former head of the World Health Organization, who's one of the biggest anti-smoking advocates out there. And to hear him kind of say, we're really messing this up. That was one of the big moments for me listening to it and kind of hearing about the process that you were going through with the filming. Was there kind of a moment during the filming where you just kind of went, wow, we may really be doing something here?
Well, yeah, it was, I mean, when we got to interview Hamlet, who, you know, is widely known as the inventor of the modern e-cigarette, you know, that was when this guy hadn't done interviews anywhere. You can find an interview of him really anywhere, and here we are filming this guy in 4K Ultra HD for a movie that's going to be in theaters, and I know that this is, you know, when he's gone, this is going to be the movie that tells the story of how the whole industry started, and so it's really good to have him in the movie.
Yeah.
And man, you start adding in former president of the World Medical Association, former executive director at the World Health Organization, and you know, all of those guys, those interviews all happened within a fairly short time frame. We knew we had something pretty special at that time, and so it was we were pretty pumped.
Awesome. That's you've answered almost every question that I had. There has been a few people out in the comments. I know you mentioned that there is something in the works for New York City and LA. I wasn't sure if you're allowed to talk about that at all, but I thought I'd bring it up for the comments.
Well, we're working on some special stuff. I mean, I don't have dates or specifics because I want to tell you guys as soon as I do, but you know, throughout the process, we're trying to be as transparent as possible. If you look last year at this time, we told people pretty much exactly what was going to happen, and for the most part, I think they were about a month or so behind. Just we had some personnel things that delayed some of the launching, and then we just had the struggle of the financial realities of it. But we're only about a month behind what we said we were going to do, you know, almost a year and a half ago. So we try to be as transparent as possible. We also like to not be wrong, you know, and so for the most part, we'll let you guys know as soon as we possibly can. Seattle's been a really great area. I think his name, John O'Connor up there has been really helpful in trying to help us identify a potential thing at the IMAX in Seattle. We just haven't had, you know, it's expensive, so that's been kind of the struggle with that. But it's going to be in Seattle. It's definitely going to be in Seattle. and it's going to be in every other major city in the entire country, and hopefully eventually the entire world. But I know that it will be available in all major cities in the U.S. Already because of the success that we had. It's just a matter of how and when.
Okay. Well, thank you, and to everybody out there in the comments, same thing. Just be patient; it'll get there. And from what I've heard, this is one of the best educational films and one of the best educational tools that we are going to have in our pocket. So once again, I'll just say thank you for what you're doing here.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, and I do think you guys are great. Yeah, I think it will be helpful. I mean, the gentleman from the World Health Organization, Derek Yak, he is a proponent of this technology. He thinks this can really help people. He actually told us, the media people, the other day that this film is the only chance that vapors have. I don't know if I would go so far as to say that, but we know it's going to be significant, and that's why we're working so hard to make sure we don't screw this up, because a lot of people's lives and their livelihoods are actually on the line. So I'd really like to ask everyone just to be patient and to trust us. We've never given anybody a reason to doubt what we've done. We've done what we've said. We made the kind of film we said we were going to make. It's got the impact we were hoping it would make. We're releasing it about on the schedule that we were hoping to release it in. It's actually ahead of what most films are doing. We're pushing. We're doing our best. I'm only sleeping 2 hours. It's for you guys. So don't just be supportive. I'm seeing so much negativity out there, and it actually does make me sad. I do see those comments, those nasty, stupid comments. I see those. And, there's no reason to get mad. I mean, we're friends here. We're not the foe. And we made this film on our own dime, so it's like, people really shouldn't be angry with what we're doing. They should be really thankful, I think. And a lot of people are, so don't get me wrong, but I know there's a lot of angry people out there. I understand it, but we're not the people to turn it toward.
Yeah, absolutely. Singer Truth wanted to know if there's anything we can do to help get it into designated cities, as far as he brought up getting the local vape shops together, approaching like local advocacy groups, that sort of thing, possibly trying to raise money to force it into the theater. Right.
Well, if people that are watching this are interested in helping us, we do need people in each city to help us coordinate, because the marketing with the budget's not there. We need someone to call the vape shops and say, hey, do you have tickets to this? Because we're not going to be able to be as wide as we want unless we get good success when we do bring it out to all those cities. And so, abillionlives.com/help. There's a form that people can fill out, and they can kind of explain what they can do to kind of help us with that, whether it's social media or whether they're willing to help essentially host these screenings, meaning they get people rallied up and paying attention to buy tickets, or whether, maybe they want to talk about it on their show or the social media. If people go to abillionlives.com/help and fill out that form, but only if they're really serious. We don't really want people just to do it just for the heck of it. We actually want people that are really honestly interested in helping. So that would probably be the best way right now.
Awesome. That's all I got. I'll pass the baton to whoever.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, we got to build an army. We got to build an army of boots on the ground here. And, this is where we really need everyone to get together and rally together and not fight each other. So,
Robbie, would you like to go next? You have to unmute yourself. There you go.
Yep. Hopefully you guys can hear me. But just want to start by saying thank you all so much for what you're doing. Your whole crew there is dedicated to this project, obviously, and we appreciate it more than you know. I'm actually up in Canada myself, so I guess I'm representing the Canadian market. But I can tell you right now, here in Calgary, everyone's excited for the film. We're all looking forward to it. We cannot wait. I've talked to every vape store in the city, and we're all super excited. Obviously, we had a couple big wins ourselves in this city against big tobacco, I guess, and the government for that matter. And we've accomplished quite a bit, but I think there's still some things that are lacking, and I'd love to see your film up here. Obviously, I've seen your schedule, and I think you did have it up here in Calgary last I checked. But just want to say thank you so much for all you're doing. And on a note that you mentioned earlier, you're always welcome on the show. You're obviously a huge influence in the community. Whether you want to be or not, you kind of crawled into this role of being an influencer, and I think it's what you're doing. And just honestly, I cannot thank you enough for what you've done. And it's mind blowing just to see, you know, just to hear, I guess, some of the struggles you've gone through and things that you've had to face to overcome your launches here. And I definitely find it hugely courageous on what you're doing, and I think it's a huge step forward for not just vaping community, but the general public to see this video and to understand what's actually going on, not just in the vaping community, but in everyday life and the corruption that does go on in this world, no matter where you are. So first, again, just want to say thank you for that. On that same note, obviously, now that you're on our show, I think a lot of other shows are going to try and bring you on. I think that there's a lot of people in this community who are going to want to talk to you, and they may have other questions for you. So you're definitely a figure in this community, and I think you put yourself in a good position to be in a very powerful position in this community as well. So thank you again for everything you've done, and it does mean a lot to all of us, not just in Canada but across the world. All of us vapers who are aware of it, and obviously there are ways we can, like you said, to get the message out more and to promote this movie more and to show people what has been done. And I think this is going to be a great movie. So thank you again for all your work on it. And as far as questions go, I don't really have too many. I mean, I think they've all been answered. So just want to say thank you. That's pretty much all I want to say.
Well, I will say that Calgary, of all the cities in the world, has been probably one of the top 5 most supportive cities. So this movie is coming to Calgary. There is no doubt about that whatsoever in my mind. I don't know, you know, the only struggle for us is just these early ones where we're doing the big premieres, the big fancy shindigs to get the media and other people involved. I don't know if we have the financial ability to do it there, but we are going to have it in theaters in Calgary. There's almost no doubt about that in my mind. So you guys have earned it. Yeah, it's awesome. And we do. I mean, I live in Wisconsin, which is on the border of Canada. And so, yeah, I mean, I could sail across the water to you guys, and definitely I'm a big fan of Canada. So yeah, that's happening.
That's great. I mean, like I said, thank you again for stopping by on the show. Obviously, you're a busy guy. You're in the car right now on your way to your new premiere. Thank you again for stopping by. It means a lot to all of us. And we'll be promoting you nonstop until the day, forever, I guess. Really, I mean, we're just gonna keep promoting you because we love your stuff, and I haven't seen the video or the movie yet, and I can't wait to see it. And it's gonna be a lot of fun to watch it, and I can't wait to see who shows up as well. I think that's gonna be the most interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Mr. DeVoe, would you like to interject? You gotta unmute yourself.
I'm going to be like Robbie. I really don't have any questions. I do just want to thank Aaron for taking the time to come on here. I also want to thank him and tell him that I have much respect for the path that they're choosing to go with this video, and I think it is the right way to go. I think we need to touch more non-vapors because the vaping community is such a small portion of the population. The only way we're going to touch those masses is if you do have an award-winning, awesome documentary that you can put out there, and it'll touch more people. More people will take it more seriously. So I have much props and the utmost respect for the path you guys are sticking to, and I'm glad you guys are sticking to it.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Okay, Aaron. Well, of course, I want to thank you for taking time to come on the show, and I think we've covered most of the ground that we wanted to cover. And of course, you know, I had the pleasure of meeting you this past weekend, and you know, I guess I just want to thank you guys too, because like I said earlier, to me, eventually I want to have this movie in my hip pocket to be able to, you know, it's a difficult subject to reach out and explain to someone who's a non-smoker or to even smokers, because they have so much fucked up shit in their heads from the disinformation that's out there. And, you know, it's a complicated subject. It's a complex subject, and to, you know, be able to eventually, you know, someday it will be on Netflix someday, and
I think so. Yeah, I do think so.
You know, and so people just need to be patient, and when it gets there, you know, from now until infinity, I will be, telling people and using your film as a tool for education, which education is paramount. I mean, you know, the vapors that know what's going on and should know what's going on is such a small percentage of the population of the world even. And so your film just has meant a lot to me, and it just exceeded my expectations.
Oh, that's great. And you guys' support has been awesome. And yeah, hopefully it will be on Netflix. I think if we already had 100,000 people on our email address list, we'd probably already be on Netflix. But they're apparently not impressed yet. So we'll keep at it.
Right on.
One quick thing. Where are you going to be playing in Oklahoma City, and where can people look to find it?
Yeah, the first showing, the Oklahoma City premiere technically will be at the Bricktown Cinema on Thursday evening. And then it's going to actually play, there's a conference going on called Vaping that's actually going to be, we're going to be playing it 3 times a day during that as well. To kind of make sure that those guys, now that we've had our North American premiere, we're able to start doing more things like this. And that was a way that we could kind of help and thank them also for their support. They got us on some TV and did some other stuff. So, and I promised them a long time ago that we would do this if we had the world or the North American premiere in time. So yeah.
I heard that you're going to Paris. Is that true?
Yeah. We're going to have a French premiere in Paris at one of the most famous theaters in all of Europe. So very, very excited about that. That's going to be on September 11th. We're just putting together all the details for everybody, and then we'll be blasting that thing all over the internet too. So it's going to be amazing.
Are there actually dates in between Oklahoma City and Paris, or is that your next stop?
Not yet. We're not sure. We're still working on some of these details. It's possible we'll get South Africa, but I'm guessing you're talking about the U.S. And we might have New York and LA. It just really depends. We're not certain yet because these details haven't been figured out. But it's coming though. Coming.
So you're kind of like a traveling rock band that doesn't know which venue they're going to be playing.
Yeah, I feel like that sometime. After Oklahoma City, I'm going to be heading over to New York City and then back home again. So I feel like I've been on tour for 18 months now, and it's been fun. It's been fun.
I've got another thing to add.
Yeah.
I've been getting lots of messages from people who know that I talk to you quite often, and they've been asking me to make sure that your website is stocked up with all your swag, so that people can buy around the world and support you guys no matter where you are.
I do need a beanie.
Yeah, well, I mean, we have one of my timber companies in Milwaukee is actually making the shirts and hats and everything, and I have a hard time keeping up. But if people do want them, we do have some of them for sale. We're not really, we haven't really had a whole lot of free stuff except the world premiere. We were trying to make a big shindig, and we actually had some sponsors for that where we were able to purchase that stuff. But if people want to get that stuff and help support what we're doing and help broadcast to the world, I think that tips are $20 or something like that on the website. We do get a portion of that to help us. So you just go to BillionLife.com and look at the menu in the upper right, and I think there's a link to the shirts if people want it.
Awesome. Is there anything else that you'd like to add, Aaron?
No, just thank everyone who has been supportive. There's a lot of you guys out there, and definitely none of the ranting had anything to do with you guys. It's just frustrating to see how much of an impact we can make, but we're being held back by things that we know people can help us with. They're just not helping. So, yeah, let's keep on them. Keep the pressure on people. And if you missed the earlier rants, go watch them. I'm not joking about that stuff. It's time to get going.
All right. Well, that being said, I guess that we'll sign off here. And once again, just want to thank you so much for taking the time while you're driving in a car to share with us. And I appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet. Well, I appreciate you guys too. So you guys have a good rest of the day, and yeah, we'll be in touch. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Love you, Aaron. Love you, Danny.
Cheers. Love you too. We'll talk to you guys later. You have a good one now, okay?
It was a pleasure.
You too,
meeting
honey. Drive safe.
Yeah, I will do that.
Thanks, Aaron.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Love to everybody. There you guys. Yay! Success! That was awesome!
So, other than a few technical difficulties, hopefully we accomplished something here tonight. I want to thank everybody that tuned in. I want to thank my fellow Project Foggers for their input and for putting up with the Gizzard Stew show. And everyone in chat, thanks for your comments. Obviously, we couldn't answer all the questions that you had out there, but we did our best to put on a good show. So, any of my panelists want to have any final parting words here?
Just want to say
Everybody needs to support Aaron.
Yeah, no doubt.
I was going to say thank you to Giz for organizing this. Obviously, this is a very special night, and you were lucky enough to see it. Obviously, Mox was lucky enough to see it. Some of us haven't been so lucky, but nonetheless, we're still here. You get to see it. And again, just want to say thank you, though, to Gizzard for getting Aaron on the show and his team. And that was awesome. I mean, that's exactly what we hope for, and hopefully that helps get the word out, because obviously more. You know, you heard Aaron. We need to do more. Let's get people going to these shows. Let's get them going to these premieres. I want them to be overwhelmed with the support from us, not just here on Fog, but everywhere. So if you haven't talked to someone, go talk to your local shop about A Billion Live. If you haven't already, bring it up. As Aaron said, you know, let's see who's supporting him and let's see who's not, and let's act appropriately.
Yeah.
Tell you what to do, but I think that if we want to succeed in vaping, the best way to do it is support this documentary right now. It's our best chance.
I agree. I've seen the movie, and it's it's really not a movie for vapors. We should already know most of the information that's contained in it, but it is an educational movie for the other 99% of people that live in the United States and across the world. So, you know, if you have an opportunity to see it, go see it. And if you have an opportunity to share it, when that becomes a possibility of you sharing the movie, share the movie. And eventually we will have the opportunity to share this movie, and it may be sooner than you think. I try and think in like a positive manner, maybe like dog years. So I feel that when eventually the power and importance of this film will become self-evident.
Yeah. I would encourage people, beside everyone's out there saying thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, take the opportunity to share the show. Share this show on social media as well. Help it get the word out there. That's the best thing we can do for A Billion Lives right now, is when you see those things pop up in your Facebook feed, don't just share them to your groups, share them to everybody. I got a couple people interested in the film just this week, just chatting with them. They were going back and forth, having a little government conspiracy discussion, and I said, well, I got something for you. I dropped a link on there, and they both seem really interested in the film. So it's just that easy to just drop the link to somebody and say, hey, you know, you might want to check this out. If you do, and if you also, you know, all the people that have questions about what we're doing and why we're doing it and why we support it wholeheartedly, you know, it's a good opportunity to drop something educational out there for them.
Good point. One more thing, I would be completely remiss if I didn't give a shout out to my wingman from this weekend, Don from Adore E-Liquid. So, big shout out to Don. She put up with the Gizzard for the entire weekend pretty much, and so she deserves some sort of ribbon or
and the bipartisan blueberry that will be available at some point to everybody is now named a billion blueberries.
Is that what it is? I got
it is a billion blueberries.
You can all suck on it because I got the first bottle.
You can kiss my ass, Gizzard, too.
All right. Well, once again, everybody, I appreciate you guys turning out and helping me with this show tonight. Hopefully, you know, you might have had some hiccups and so on and so forth, but I still think it was an important show to do. And especially after seeing this movie, to me, it's one of the most important educational tools that we have to set the record straight, and you know, to quash some of the lies and some of the bullshit and some of the propaganda. So, you know, get out there, support it, go see it if you can. You know, eventually when it comes out, share it, use it as the tool that it is. You know, like I said, it's not for you, it's not for the vapors, it's for non-smokers and people that are currently smoking, so that they can see the truth, and so that hopefully we don't completely lose the life-saving vapor technology that we've come to depend on, and that we were lucky enough to find within a time frame that we were all able to quit smoking. So that being said, everybody want to say bye?
Bye! Get off your butts and vape! Bye!
Bye!
Get the real vape on.
Do
Cheers!
you know how to end the show, guys?
I stopped streaming, but I'm sure they can still hear me.
Did you stop streaming through YouTube?
Yes.
Okay, now go and turn XSplit off. All you got to do is go under broadcast and do the same thing we did last night. Just shut it off that way.